So I'm here today to speak my story, Becoming Me, a dark journey to becoming the Blackfeet Medicine Woman I am today, Earth Angel 333, Warrior Goddess Queen, Queen of Hearts. Spirit has been nudging me for approximately 3 years now to speak more, speak my story for others to hear and possibly help on their journey, connecting with me, to me, hearing about me and my journey. So I'm going to start from the very beginning, before me. So my great grandmother, Blackfeet, she was kidnapped from her tribe in Montana and brought here to Wisconsin to an orphanage, which eventually burned down. But our family still remains here in Wisconsin. I still have strong, very strong, energetic ties to our ancestral land in Montana. I actually visited last year. That was an amazing experience. Anyways, so my great grandmother, and then I remember being 3 years old, and my grandfather had passed away. He was one of my guardian angels on earth, and it so happens he is one of my spiritual guides and angel in the spirit world now. So his spirit connected with me again when I turned 33. That's further down the line. But anyways, my journey has been very dark, very lonely. I was really, left alone a lot. I was really neglected and kind of just pushed aside when I was younger. I remember being suicidal from starting at the age of 7, 8. I didn't like it here. I didn't ever really fit in, and I knew that all these systems were off, wrong. School never felt right. I never really I never really settled in here to Earth and the way things are run here. So, at that point, I know my parents were putting me in therapies, and, I didn't like to talk to any of those people. But anyways, eventually I stopped trying to kill myself and, just went about childhood. I did have some close neighborhood friends, and we would spend a lot of time outside, lots of time outside, riding bikes, playing in the trees, swimming. I remember I would try to get lost a lot. I never really did get lost, but I wanted to. Anyways, so I spent a lot of time out in nature. That was where I liked to be. And yeah, I made it through, elementary school, middle school, high school. I did good. I got good grades. I did my best just to get through, get by. I don't know. It all felt like prison to me. Honestly, I really don't remember anything about. It's like, what are you really learning in there? I don't know. My favorite subjects were art and music. Everything else is just, you do it to get it done and move along. So then, out of high school, I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. I went to school for graphic design for a little while. I was really good at it. I decided I didn't want to be sitting at a desk for the rest of my life, so I moved on to massage therapy. I jumped into massage therapy. My upbringing during the, elementary, middle school, high school was, my mom was at work, my mom was sleeping, my dad was in jail, my dad was drinking, drugs, hospital. So I was kind of just there. But I mean, I don't blame them. I've forgiven them for all of those things. Because they have their own struggles and their own rough upbringings. I'm sure they were worse than mine. So anyways, then I met Ian's dad out of high school, and formed a relationship with him when he was still in the military in New York. Gosh, I didn't know back then how terrible people in those lines of work can be, military, police. Anyways, I fell in love with him, and we were back and forth between New Jersey and Wisconsin. He was originally from Wisconsin. He got out of the military, moved here, moved in with me. And then eventually, we got a place in Madison, and then eventually he got a military police job in New Jersey. He asked me to go. I went there with him. and found out shortly after that he had been cheating on me here. And things then got abusive, and I got a job at Blockbuster out there. I got my own little place, and moved up to assistant manager at Blockbuster, transferred back to Wisconsin to a Blockbuster in Wisconsin. And then he ended up following me back to Wisconsin, getting back together with me, and then I became pregnant with my first child, who is now 16 and bigger than me. I do remember not wanting to be pregnant with his child because I didn't want to be connected to him for a lifetime. But I did end up going through with the pregnancy, and I'm grateful and I'm thankful. And my oldest son is amazing. He's a bright light, full of joy. And everybody wants to be around him always. So anyways, then I ended up in massage therapy school when I was pregnant with Ian. And that's when my health and healing learning journey kind of started. Maybe a little bit before that, when I was in jiu-jitsu, and I trained as a certified natural trainer, nutritionist, just learning all those things, and then jumping into massage therapy, hands-on healing. I was just kind of a natural at that. I picked that up really easily. Then out of, I gave birth to Ian, and then shortly after that, actually, before I gave birth to Ian, I had separated from his dad. So I was already a single mother before I was even a mother. So that was scary, but my parents were supportive. And there, and so they helped me through that. And I want to say Ian was probably only around 1 when I met the next guy, who would be the father of my now youngest 2. And I'm no longer with him because that was also an abusive relationship. So there were lots of negative words, belittling, gaslighting, and then there was physical abuse. There was physical abuse in my past relationship as well with Ian's dad, choking me, and then also my younger 2 kids' dad. We've been in physical fights, as well as him choking me. The first time he choked me, I was pregnant with our daughter. So that was really scary. And of course, the men deny, all the wrongdoings. It never happened. They don't remember. So that kind of adds to the trauma, the mix of things. Anyways, not really sure what parts of my story I'm exactly supposed to be speaking. I'm trying my best. I'm just speaking what comes, and I know it's kind of not a perfect timeline. Anyways, I'm 40 now. I am 40 years old now. I had Ian when I was 24. So I've been really, the past 16 years just trying to survive abusive relationships, trying to come up with the time and money to be a single mom, to be a good mom, to be a present mom, because with my past of being, ignored and neglected, and yeah, I always had everything I needed, but it's really important to me to always be around and available for my kids. And that's one of the reasons I kind of fell into massage therapy, because I knew it was, I could get a full-time income with part-time hours. And so after Lainey was born, I decided to be a stay-at-home mom. So I quit my massage therapy job, and I was then reliant on the kid's dad for income. And then, the financial abuse. The financial abuse started. So it's, as a stay-at-home mother, your partner has a lot of power over you financially. I chose to be poor to be there for my children, because being a mother is the most important job. I know it doesn't pay anything, but it is the most important job, raising children upright with love and nurturing and care and presence, not just throwing them away to the system and to strangers. And, nobody is going to love your child more than you. Nobody is going to love a child more than their mother. And so that was very important to me. I've been homeschooling my babies since the COVID pandemic. But anyways, I've been through a lot of neglect, a lot of trauma, a lot of physical, mental, spiritual, financial abuse, like any type of abuse you can think of. I have been through it. I am still here. I have been abused by the medical system, the court system, the police. There are no protectors out there. I'll tell you what. I have been the opposite of protected my entire life. Besides my father, who somehow magically pulls himself together anytime and every time I have ever needed help escaping from these abusive relationships. He's always kind of, been there whenever I needed him, even though he's been, in his own mess of trauma from his past. He's always been an angel for me, navigating the madness here. Anyways, I'm thankful, very, very thankful for his presence and the fact that he is still here walking on this earth. Somehow magically, he has 9 lives, I guess. So then, there's the story of when my grandfather's spirit connected with me, and that happened very randomly, very organically. I wasn't trying to connect with any spirits. I didn't even know the spirit world existed before that. So I was 33 when his spirit came to me. I was actually just coming home from a hands-on healing seminar in Indiana. And he just magically showed up in the back seat of my van. And I don't know really how. I don't know why. Well, I do know why now, but I didn't see anybody. I didn't see anything. It was just I felt his presence back there, and he was connecting with me telepathically. So I was getting downloads. It wasn't like a voice. It wasn't, it was really interesting. It was really new, very new to me. So, that at that time, when I was 33, I was, I was in Partyville. I was living in Partyville at that time. I thought I was driving home to Partyville at that time. But he had given me messages, go to your dad's, go see your dad. And right after that message, I came over the hill and I saw the sign that was the exit sign to go to my dad's house at that time, where he lived in Cottage Grove, Wisconsin. So I'm like, okay, well, I guess we'll do that. So I turned, thinking I was going to my dad's. I was driving down N, if you know Cottage Grove. So then I got the message, pull over here. And I'm like, well, this isn't my dad's house. And okay, sure, whatever. So I pulled over. And then, the messages just really started flooding in. He said, get out of the car. I mean, these are just downloads. These aren't words. They're just, okay. And I didn't have to do anything. I was being guided to do. I had free will. I could have said no. I could have, went home. I could have went to my dad's. But I'm like very curious and interested at this point. Like, what are you trying to relay to me? So I got out of the van, and he was really just giving me messages of remember who you are, where you came from, what you are, messages of the true ways of healing from my ancestors. And at one point I was in the middle of the road doing Native American dances, which I had never done in my life before that. But he's trying to instill it in me and bring it out of me. These are the real ways of healing. So I was down on the ground, head, hands, kneeling on earth, earthing, absorbing the earth's energy, praying. And then, sitting up, letting out a big angry howl, let out all the bad, negative energy. So bring in the good energy, let out the bad energy, and then also dance it out, shake it out. The vibrations of jumping and dancing, and the movement medicine is so, so powerful. And then something happened with my voice. They were waking up my voice and showing me how powerful the voice is, my voice is. So all of a sudden I just let out this big, like, angelic, loud vocals. And it was big, it was loud, it was powerful. So, so powerful that there were probably like 20 dogs back in this neighborhood that were howling back at me. And it was just insane. It was intense. It was, wow. I couldn't believe that came out of me. So then, he had me sit down, look at your feet, Nicole, your feet are black feet, reminding me who I am, where I came from, Blackfeet. Ian is two, my oldest son. My oldest son was taken from me through the court system from his dad when he was 12, 13, 14, 15. So that was 4 years ago now. That's been a very traumatizing journey for me as well. I only see my oldest son, who is basically the male version of me. I only see my oldest son, once a month now. His dad has been trying since he was 3 to take him away from me, full custody. Thankfully, he hasn't succeeded, and I do still get some time to reconnect with my son to remind him of who he is, and so I can fill him back up with love. I know, one night, 1 week here and there isn't a lot, but I'm thankful for that time. And he has spoken about coming back to me possibly when he turns 18, when school's over up there. Anyways, after that, I looked up in the clouds and there were massive angel wings, kind of just like these here. In the clouds, angel wings, and I couldn't believe it. I didn't believe it. I'm like, what am I seeing here right now? Is this real? And it was very real. And so the message came, earth angel, will you be this? Because throughout my journey, I have always stayed in my heart, in love, pure. No matter what has happened to me, I still continue to walk in love and care and truth. And Spirit sees that. Spirit sees everything. Spirit sees, knows, hears everything. When you're alone, what you're doing, what you're thinking, everything. They know everything. And so that was, I didn't know how to answer the question. And life here on earth is very, very, very difficult. I know you all know. But so I didn't even answer. I didn't give him a yes or a no. I said, I will try. I will do my best to walk this earth in love and truth, and to be a guide, a loving, caring guide. Nobody really likes the truth. We have been lied to since the beginning of our me, you, mine. Since the beginning of our creation, we have been being lied to. And so, Spirit spoke me as a messenger for the truth. And the truth is hard to speak. And you lose a lot of people. Because of the blind obedience we have been trained into. So, ever since I started speaking truth, I lost a lot of friends. I lost a lot of family. I lost... that doesn't matter though, because love and truth is more important. Me speaking the truth out of love to you, so you have the choice to choose between lies and truth, planting the seeds. It doesn't matter if you hate me. It doesn't matter if you don't like me. It doesn't matter if you don't believe me. I don't care, because I love you so much. I love you so much you can hate me forever. Forever. Hate me forever. Hate me forever because I love you so much. Anyways, So I am a very, very strong protector, full of love, and I want the best for every human on this planet. Everyone, everyone. Even if you have done me wrong, even the men who have choked me and taken my kids even them. I don't have hate in me. I can have anger, and because I'm such a fierce protector, I can have anger, but I mean, I understand everybody's perspectives, everybody's journeys, everybody's why why they are the way they are, why you are the way you are, why I am the way I am. And a lot of it is just trying to protect ourselves, and also, built up trauma from the past, things that just haven't been seen or heard or felt. So I am very deep in the psychological world. I know how the mind, body, soul works very, very deeply. Anyways, so after the angel wings, then all of a sudden, those kind of dissipated. I turned around, and then there was this just big, massive eagle in the clouds. Okay? I don't know. It was there, massive eagle in the clouds. And so, right away, I thought of my dad, because my dad has eagle as a spirit animal. He's always collected eagles. Eagles are big with him. So then I thought, oh, and then this eagle kind of flew away, and I freaked out, and I was like, oh my God, I think my dad might be dying, because he had been having problems, and he just got out of the hospital, and blah, blah, blah. Anyways, so then, I don't know, it was like 50 degrees that day. And I was outside with no shoes and no coat, because it's me, I'm just like, I'm free. I don't. And so somebody was riding their bike and asked, are you okay? What are you doing out here? And of course, they started telling them this story, and so they thought I was a nutcase, and they're like, "Oh my God, there's something wrong with you." And then another car came and like, "Are you okay? What are you doing out here? Why aren't you wearing a coat?" Whatever. So then there were, another couple people who were like, "You're crazy. What are you doing out here?" And so then the cops showed up. And little old truthful, honest, loving me is, talking to the cops about this story. Yeah, my grandfather's spirit is speaking to me. Well, I didn't know that, people thought that that's crazy. I didn't know. I had no idea. So... So then, they're like, well, we're going to have to take you to the hospital to get you checked out and looked at. And I'm like, no. I'm not going anywhere with anybody. So I have a very big distrust of, the medical system, the law enforcement system, the school systems, everything, court systems. None of those systems are for we the people. Okay. It's all about control. But anyways, I had them call my dad. I said, look, I got a message. I'm worried about my dad. I need my dad here. And so I called my dad, and my dad came, and when he showed up, he was like the brightest white light angel, sun shining on him I had ever seen. And I'm like, oh my gosh, my angel is here. Oh. And so then, these police and medical people wouldn't take no for an answer. And they're like, get in, you have to get in, you have to come with us, you have to do this. And I'm like, I'm not going anywhere, I'm not getting in there by myself. And so the only way I would go is if my dad was with me. So my dad came with. So then I ended up at St. Mary's Hospital, and they were good to me there. They asked me a bunch of questions, and thankfully they didn't think I was a Looney Tune, and so they sent me on my way. 11:11 right now. So they sent me on my way back to my parents' house. I went to stay the night there. And, to talk to them about everything that had just come through. And anyways, when I was there, I'm assuming because I had just been really brought into the light and my mission, heaven on earth, helping to create heaven on earth. When I was sleeping there, I woke up and there was a dark shadow, very, very evil energy. I could feel it wanting to come at me, to come into me. And then all of a sudden, I just started doing those loud angelic vocals that, that was brought out of me the other day. And so then I'm doing these powerful angelic vocals again. And I know now that higher vibration is what kept the darkness at bay. It couldn't come into me because my vibration was too high. So that was another lesson, another teaching of keep your vibration high in the darkness. The demons, the evil energy, it can't come in, because these energies try to take over our bodies, to have us doing dark, bad, negative things. But anyways, so I surpassed that, and then my parents bust open the door, what's going on in here? And I'm like, oh my god, I'm freaking out, I'm like crying, and I'm like, oh well, there was this over here, and they're like, you're fucking crazy, Nicole. The fuck is going on here? I'm like, I don't know, okay? All this shit's out of my control. I'm just here. So then, they're calling everybody in the family. We got to get your grandma over here. We're going to get your sister over here, my half sister. And, so all these people are coming over, listening to my story. And then, my sister is like, Nicole, I want you to go talk to one of my friends at the UW. I'm worried about you. And I'm like, I didn't want to go. I don't trust, again, I don't trust those places. Anyways, because of my heart and care, I'm like, okay, I don't want you to worry. Fine, I'll go. And so I let them take me there. And that UW hospital is one of the darkest, scariest places I have ever been in my life. The UW Madison Hospital is actually buried on Native American Indian mounds. Purposely, it wasn't an accident. Anyways, my connection with spirit at that time was astronomical. I've never been connected like that since then, actually. I mean, like I can connect with spirits here and there if and when I want to, but this, that was out of my control. I didn't. But anyways, so when I got to the UW, I could feel all of the lost souls taken too soon. The abuse, the killings, literally the killings, the murders. There are murders happening in these hospitals, especially the UW. So when I got there, there were spirits just screaming and crying, bloody murder, just trapped souls galore. It was insane. It was intense. I was just bombarded with these souls crying for help. So when I got there, I'm like, hey, I'm trying to tell everybody about my hands-on healing seminar and like all these natural healing things. Like, hey, look, hey, why don't we try to heal people with hands instead of knives and pills? Let's heal with love and connection. But anyways, nobody liked that idea there. And so, they were talking to me a bit, and then I was in, and then they put me in a room, and I could see that these people weren't really seeing me, hearing me, feeling me. They just thought I was crazy. And so I did find one nurse lady who believed me. She believed in me, and she's like, I know, I can see that you're special, Nicole, and just be careful what you're speaking to who. And that was my first warning of, Nicole, people, there's people who don't believe these things and they're just going to think you're crazy. And there's also people who don't believe these things and they want to take you out. Or they do believe in these things and they do know these things and they want you gone, like dead, right? I'm like, okay, well, all right, thanks for the message. So then, while I was there, I actually was having like a seizure at one point in the room, but I was fully awake and aware, and spirits were with me. And as I was, shaking, I was yelling, don't touch me, leave me alone. I'm healing, my body is healing. I could feel white light going through my spine. It was an energy, spirit was working on healing me. And I could feel that vibration, the vibrational healing, the shaking. Shaking is healing. People think seizures need to be medicated, but the seizures are the vibrations, are the healing, trying to heal, realign, readjust, and increase your vibration. So actually, believe it or not, seizures are part of a natural healing within our bodies, within ourselves. And they shouldn't be medicated. They shouldn't be drugged. They shouldn't be, all the pills, all the injections, all those things are just polluting the body even more, which will actually cause more of the seizures, more of the shaking, more of the body trying to heal itself because you're pouring in more poison, lowering your vibration, polluting your atmosphere. Anyways, after all of that chaos, they had enough of me and whatever was happening. And they're like, we are going to take you up to the 4th floor. We are going to put you into the mental health area. Okay, so then they put me, I was on one of those beds, a rolly bed. So I didn't want to go up there. I was saying, no, don't take me, don't take me. And they ended up handcuffing me to the bed and wheeling me up there. And then when I got in there, I was begging my sister, don't leave me here. Please don't leave me here. I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here. I was scared for my life. And I had very good reason, apparently, to be scared for my life there. No healing is happening in those facilities. I know I had to be there for a reason. I wasn't there for healing. I was there to see the healing that is not happening there. It is absolutely the opposite of healing in those facilities. Anyways, so when I got there, all of a sudden, there was an empty hall. There was an empty wing, a dark wing in the hospital, shut down, nothing, nobody. I was kind of standing over in that area, and I got like another energetic, like Native American dancing healing thing that came through me. And so I was kind of doing a Native American dance over there. I could feel more souls that were taken too soon down that dark wing of the hospital. And then, I was doing this dance and I got a crack in my neck, and then my neck pain went away, and I was just like, this is intense healing that's happening to me during this, UW hospital visit. Anyways, so after that, they signed me in, they left me there, and then I had like 3 different nurses sitting next to me, like, oh, do you want to talk about what happened? And so, okay, yeah. And so I was just sitting there speaking my story of what happened, what I'm just talking about now. My grandfather's spirit visited me. So they're like, they didn't really want to hear my story. They were giving me, it was like blank stares, like, okay, we're going to have to inject you now. And I'm like, what? Inject me with what? Why? No. And, I have a big fear of injections and needles, and it's really all poison. But anyways, so I was screaming and crying, no, 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 no. God help me, God save me. And then all of a sudden it was 3 nurses, 3 security guards. They all picked me up and threw me in that secluded part of the hospital. Nothing, nobody, no lights, darkness. They threw me in a room. They pulled down my pants and they injected me, and I was gone. I was out. So at that point, who knows what happened to me in that darkness when I wasn't awake, aware, alive. I was just shut down. So then, the next morning, I came to, and I was still in that room, but they did have the door open, and, all the other patients were eating breakfast or lunch or whatever, and I was still in the room, and my dad came in and showed up, and he's like, why is my daughter over there? Why is my daughter secluded in this room by herself while everybody else is out here eating? So, thank you, Dad. Thank you, Angel, for showing up for me, because what I saw there in that 1 week that I was there, it's terrible. So anyways, then they, they put me with the rest of them, the rest of everybody else. And, there was no healing happening there. It was just pills and pills and pills and drugs and drugs and drugs. Diagnosis. Here's a pill. And these, I saw people go from perfectly coherent when I first arrived to a complete vegetable state when I left. And the people who were complete vegetables when I left were the people who had nobody showing up there for them. They didn't have any family showing up. They didn't have any friends showing up. They didn't have anybody watching over them. And they were just drugged and drugged and drugged until they were drooling. Anyways, they were trying to do that to me. While I was there, they diagnosed me with bipolar. You're bipolar. Okay. And then they started me on this antipsychotic medication. 1 pill today. Oh, now I'll have 2 pills the next day. And then 3 pills the next day. And they were just slowly trying to up and up and up and up and up these drugs, which I have always been against. I know that they're not good for you, and it's like right there. Give me the list of side effects, causes miscarriage, causes internal bleeding, causes blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, I'm not okay with this. I don't want to take this. Like, whatever's happening to me, I will figure it out naturally. So, once they got me up to like 3 pills a day, I just was heavy. I felt like I was wearing a suit of armor. I couldn't do my movement medicine. I couldn't move. I couldn't do my yoga, my stretching, my dancing, my movement. And then on top of that, I had, this insatiable hunger, an undying appetite. Like, I could eat and eat and eat and eat and eat, and I would never be full. You know, if I would have stayed on that medication, I would have been 300 pounds in 6 months. No, that's not okay. No, that's not healthy. None of it. Whatever. Anyways, they are soulless up there. So while I was up there, I had, nonstop friends and family visiting me, people showing up for me. And then also, the other patients there were drawn to me, and we would sit and talk, and we would sit and do art. And, um, you know, I was their therapist. I was helping them. I was seeing them. I could see them. I can hear them. I can feel them. I'm here with you. Um, so while I was there, I was given lots of gifts, lots of artwork from the other patients there, because they were so thankful for my love, caring, wisdom, like actually being there, sitting there, seeing them, hearing them, caring, connecting. That isn't happening in those places. There is no connecting, there is no caring, there is no love. It's sterile, it's cold, it's pills, it's drugs, it's shots, it's white walls, it's you can't go outside, you don't get to go outside, you don't get to be in nature, you're locked in. You're locked in, and we have control of you. You have no say here. You have no bodily autonomy. You are ours. We do whatever we want with you while you're in here. It's, I saw it firsthand. There was a lady who fell over, and, she was struggling to function. So she's laying on the floor, and she said, just leave me alone. Let me lay here. Don't touch me. Don't touch me. And then all of a sudden, there's 3 different people trying to get her up, trying to pick her up, and I'm like, did you not just hear her? She said, leave me alone. She needs to rest and come to. She doesn't want to be picked up and tossed around and thrown around, and it doesn't matter what you say when you're in there. Your voice does not matter. You are no longer a human being in those places. You are just an experiment. Anyways, so by the time I was done and let out, my room was the most decorated room apparently the nurses have ever seen ever, because my atmosphere is important to me, and color and love, and just your surroundings matter. And I'm not down with sterile white walls. I need color. I need music. I need art. These things are healing. So I remember when I was leaving, a nurse pulled me aside and said, Nicole, will you come back? Will you come back and visit us and let us know what you're doing, where you are? And they could see that there was something really special about me. There was another really dark moment there when I was there. There was one of the night nurses. Man, that woman was pure evil. She had freaking devil demon energy. And I was scared of this lady. And so I had actually begged my dad to, Dad, will you come here and stay with me? Like, I am scared. I was scared shitless being in that place. Uh, and so I had asked my dad if he could come stay, because you can have one overnight guest. And thank the heavens, thank the Lord, he was like, yes. And every day when he was done with work, he would come there to be with me, to talk with me, to stay overnight with me. And there was one night, I remember he was struggling with his breathing. He's had problems with his lungs for a long time. And I know the power of hands-on healing, so I put my hand on his chest to, open it up. And it was working. I could see his breathing was regulating. And then all of a sudden, the door blasted open, and this evil nurse lady was like, "Get your hands off him. He doesn't need healing." And my radio that was playing music turned to static. Like, that's how powerful her negative energy was. And I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, okay, I'll go to sleep. I just laid there and pretend I was sleeping. And like, I couldn't pray for the sun more than I've ever prayed for the sun in my whole life, being in that place. It was dark. It was scary. No healing, no care, no love. I remember there was one point in time where I had like, an anxiety attack. There was like something trying to come at me, and I had two friends sitting at me next to the table, and I said, "Will you hold my hand? Can you hold my hand?" I needed the power of connection to help keep me up. And so they were like, "Yeah, of course." And so I held their hands, and I could feel instantly, I could feel a relief. And then, all of a sudden, "Oh, get your hands off. You can't touch each other. Nobody can touch anybody here. That's not allowed." And I'm like, God, really? I'm like, I know the power of hands-on healing, and you're going to tell me we can't connect to each other to help each other heal. So there is just an insane amount of darkness in those facilities. And not only have I seen it with myself and the people I was there with, I have been seeing it with my own family. The UW has been destroying and killing people since its existence, since it's been built on the Native American mounds. Whatever. Gosh, this is getting long. It's over an hour. So anyways, that all happened when I was 33. And then I've just been getting the messages ever since of, while I was there, I picked up a book. I was guided to a Peregrine Falcon book. Read this story. I read this Peregrine Falcon story, and it was like reading my own story. I'm like, this Peregrine Falcon has the same life that I've had. People trying to capture and control, and like, anyways, I'm at the point of freedom now. Um, and I really have my wings here now. And so that's why I am here to speak and push my truth, my story, my wisdom, for anybody who needs to hear it, for anybody who is going through any of this deep, dark shit. Like, I have been there, I have been in it, I have been through it, I have pulled myself out every single time. And I am still here, 40 years old, single mom, 3 kids, 2 businesses, my Peregrine Falcon therapeutic massage and healing arts, my jewelry art, my I'm still here. I'm still fighting and I'm not giving up, and I'm going to pull you all up with me. I will pull you all up with me. So, I'm 40 now. So that happened when that big spiritual awakening happened when I was 33. And I had a lot of learning to do. And I've had a lot of downloads and had so many lessons. And that Peregrine Falcon kept coming through after the fact as well. Spirit pushed me to change my name. This is your spirit animal. This is your Native American name, Peregrine Falcon. I didn't even know Peregrine Falcon was a thing before that. It took me like a year to get the spelling down of Peregrine, and I'm like, why couldn't it have just been Falcon? That would have been easier. But there's something about the Peregrine Falcon and my spirit and its spirit that is the same. So I changed my name, Nicole Peregrine Falcon, Blackfeet Medicine Woman, Earth Angel 333, Warrior Goddess Queen, Queen of Hearts. On none of these labels are mine. None of these labels are mine. These have all been given to me by Spirit. Spirit communicating who I am and my spirit. What I'm here for. Love. Ultimately, I'm here for love. And to help anybody I can along the way. So now I'm in my own place. I'm in my own space, finally. I have gotten away from all of the humans who have been trying to take my light, to dim me, to throw me down under the bus, to poison me, to drug me, to disconnect me, to take my kids, to bring me down. Like, I am still here and I'm not going anywhere. I'm only 40 years old. I have maybe a good another 60 years here to, create a heaven on earth. Like, I have survived hell. And that is why I am so good at sitting in the darkness with people, the lowest of the low. And that is why I'm so good at, speaking with people, because I have been there. I have walked the path. I have been in the darkness. I have been playing with the devil, and I won. I won. The devil has no hold on me, and if you are in my surroundings, I can help protect you as well. I am a strong, fierce, powerful protector, and I am here for freedom. I am here for love. I am here for truth. I am here to help raise the vibration of humanity. I am here to help humanity heal. Earth Angel 333, Blackfeet Medicine Woman. That's the gist of my story, I guess. I don't want to keep dragging things out. I think that's good for now. An hour and 16 minutes. Love you. Love you guys. If you have any questions, let me know. If you want to get, a hands-on healing, energy healing, angelic, spiritual healing, I am here for it. I see you. I love you. There's nothing wrong with you ever. There is never anything wrong with you. You just need the proper guidance and somebody who can see you, somebody who hears you, and that's all we really need. That's what I needed. So I'm here for you. I'm here for it now.